Hi, I'm Lashon and welcome to my YouTube channel. If this is your first time here and you want to be inspired on a daily basis, then this is the perfect place for you. Start now by subscribing and clicking the bell. Hello. It's me, Lashon, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm so glad you decided to join me here once again. It's going to be a beautiful day. It's always beautiful here in Florida. I'll be trying to tell you, you need to pack your bags and move to Florida, okay? All right now. It's beautiful here this morning. I've been outside already. It is beautiful. Now, if you're new here, let me tell you a little bit about myself so we can start the video. My name is Lashon. I'm the divorced mother of 3 adult children. I have 2 boys and a girl, and their ages are 22, 24, and 30. That's right. I am an empty nester. And so that's that's tell you a little bit about how old I am. I am 52 years old and I am here on YouTube. Okay. So I am also a disabled veteran and I also am a surgical tech. So I have lived a great life so far. And I am moving into this new chapter happy and full of joy and peace and happiness and whatever words you want to use. And that's where I'm at now. I have landed here on YouTube. Okay, so let's get started with today's video. Well, this is Mother's Day weekend. Now, this is happy and joyous and sometimes sad for some people. So I figured I'd do a video and talk about Mother's Day because some people don't have their mothers. Some people don't have their grannies and their nanas. And so this is like Thanksgiving and Christmas at the holidays. And some people will be alone for the first time. So I figured I'd do a video to talk about Mother's Day. Okay, so first I want to tell you my situation so you'll know where I'm coming from. I am 52 years of age. I lost my mother and I lost my grandmother. And so now it's just me. And I have 2 older sisters and they have children of their own. But as far as my mother, she is gone. My granny is gone. So they both loved me. They both cared for me. And I felt their love. So when you have a mother or a granny or your nana that dies, it's really tough. It's really hard on you. And you feel it deep in your soul. And so with this weekend being Mother's Day, it's going to be a sad time for a lot of people. Over the years, I have learned to stay busy on Mother's Day so the sadness doesn't come to me. I'm happy and I'm joyful, and I'm going to tell you why. Because everybody don't believe it, but I do. I believe that one day I'll see my mother again, and I believe that I will one day see Granny again. And because of that, I'm okay. I miss them desperately and wish they were here. But I know that one day we'll see each other again. And that helps me make it each day. That makes me get through their birthdays, and Mother's Days are always tough. So for all of you who just lost their mother or their granny, I know it's tough. It's so fresh. And I'll pray for you. I'll pray for each and every one of you. And if you need me to do like a private prayer or something, just email me and we'll do whatever we can to make it through this weekend. Now, if you a member of this channel or you subscribe to this channel, you know that I do self-care Sundays. So Mother's Day is on Sunday, so I will not post. On self-care Sundays, I do not post. I do not turn on my phone. I don't look for notifications. I am not interested. I love YouTube because YouTube sends me a check. Okay? All right? I love YouTube. But it gets to be consuming. And what we're trying to do is self-care and self-love. And in order to do that, in order to take care of your children, all you mothers out there, listen up. You have to find a day that you can use that's entirely for yourself. And I know what you're thinking. It's hard to get a whole day, and you're right. Sometimes you just have to take that morning, set the alarm before the kids get up, get that bath in, soak your feet, you know, wash your hair, pull your hair back, braid your hair, plait your hair, do whatever relaxes you before the kids come up, because they tugging at your leg, they knocking the bathroom door in. No peace. I remember those days. I loved every minute of it, though. I thought it was never ending. We are all mothers, and we are mothers in our own way. We may not have bore the children, we may not have given birth to the children, but we are all mothers, loving and nurturing our own children, our adopted children, our stepchildren, and also our neighbors, our nieces, our nephews. We love them all. So we are all mothers, and we are loving each other and loving our neighbors. So today will be a tough day. Mother's Day will be a tough one for you. But I just believe that if you pray about it and stay as busy as you possibly can this weekend, you'll be okay. And it gets easier. It gets easier. I will never forget them. But it also helps to tell stories about them. Now, I don't know if talking about your mom or your granny makes you sad, but for me, telling stories about my mother or my granny helps me to get through those tough days. So I'm going to tell you this quick story about my mother. When my mother met my husband, she sat across from the table like she was a little bitty thing. 5'1", I don't know what she was, a little bitty thing. She sat across from the table. She was drinking her N.J. brandy, okay, with ice cubes. I'll never forget. And she looked across the table like this. I was to her right. And she looked at me and pointed at me and said, "You don't need to marry this." She said a cuss word. I ain't gonna say it. I need my ads. Okay? Okay? My mother said, "Yeah, don't marry this bleep bleep." And I said, "Mom, come on, he right there. What you doing?" And she said, "Yeah, he can't look me in my eyes. And if he can't look me in my eyes, you can't trust him. So don't marry him." Okay? That's a funny story to me. It brings me happiness and joy. Of course, I didn't listen to her. Of course, I married him. That's just how it is. That's how us children, that's what we do. But she did a lot of things that brought me joy. But before she died, me and her wasn't, like the best of friends or anything like that, because my mother had issues like everybody else mother do. Like you have, like I have, because nobody's perfect. And so she told me, "Sean, I did the very best I could." That's hard. She said, "I did the very best I could." That is reassuring. That filled my heart up. I was filled with so much love at that very moment. You know why? Because none of us are perfect. We are all mothers. Our children's fall a little short. One is in trouble. One is, doing what they're supposed to or whatever. And at some point, as our children are growing, we blame ourselves for everything bad they did. And so at that time, my mother said, "I did the very best I could." And I got it. You see what I'm saying? I got it. We as mothers need to get that burden off our back. We need to stop blaming ourselves for everything that went wrong. You know what I'm saying? What about the good stuff? You gonna take credit for that? You are doing the very best you can as a mother. Okay? And if you are overwhelmed one day and you're sitting down and one kid is pulling this leg and one is in the back, we all been there. Or you go in the bathroom and close the door just because you need 5 seconds just to think. We've all had that happen to us. Nobody's perfect. And if somebody claim they perfect, remember, you got to really worry about that. We are all mothers doing the best we can. So if you learn anything today, my mother told me, before she died. She did the very best she could. And I got it. In that very instant, in that very second, I had an epiphany of everything that went wrong. That she was trying to tell me, well, this is why this happened, or this is why. I didn't want to hear it. But at that very moment, it took everything away. It lifted that burden off my shoulders, and I saw clearly. It's like getting a new pair of glasses. So if your mother is still here, still breathing, you let her know how special she is right now. When my mother used to call me, my mother was an alcoholic. She used to call me, I was living in Pensacola, and I remember it clearly. She'd call me like 2 o'clock in the morning from Chicago. Hey, baby, how you doing? How my grandbaby doing? How Elijah doing? And she'd go on and on, be drunk, and just go on, and I never hung up on her or nothing. She fell asleep on the phone sometimes. She passed out sometimes, but I never hung up on her. Because in those moments, she was trying to talk to me. She was trying to find the words. Maybe she was drinking to get the courage up to say what she had to say. But those moments I treasure. They're over with now. They are over with. One day they just gone. So if your mother is here, give her flowers. If she is here, tell her how special she is. Because even though my mother had her problems, she still, in her heart, knew that I loved her because I told her. I told her, even when she was drunk on the phone, oh, I love you. I love you, Sean. I love you. I love you too, Mom. I got to get up. I got to go to work in the morning. Or I got to go, Mom. And she'll be like, oh, 5 more minutes. And it'll be an hour later. So love your parents. Love your mother and your father. It's Mother's Day. That's why we're talking about mothers. So now I want to tell you a quick little story about my granny. My granny never had no cookbook or nothing. Okay, she was one of those from Georgia. Made homemade biscuits to make you want to slap somebody. That's how good they was. Made breakfast every morning. When my mother was falling short, she stepped in and took care of all my mother's children. She did that for all her kids. She even raised one of her grandbabies. Before one of her sons died, he brought Robert, Snowball brought Robert to my granny and said, I need you to take care of him. It's like he knew he was about to die. And my granny raised him from the time he was this big. No questions asked. You just do it. That's how she was. She had so many grandchildren and great-grandchildren. I don't even know how many. I don't even know how many. But this I will tell you. She made every single one of them feel like they were special. She made every single one of us feel like we was her only great-grandbaby or her only grandbaby. She really did. She really did. Now, when I got out the Navy, I moved to Jacksonville, North Carolina. That's where I moved to. That's where I met my husband. That's where basically my life started. Jacksonville, North Carolina. It's one of the biggest Marine bases in the world. My granny was there because she was my Uncle Curtis' dependent. And he was active duty in the Marine Corps. So he moved her there and took care of her. She got her own little place and she loved it there. So when I moved there, she just was so happy. And I was over there every single day. Now, I had Elijah at the time and she was She'd be leave Nana Boo Boo, leave Nana Boo Boo right here. She'd be leave him here. I got him. And I'll go to the club. Yeah, that was my backsliding days, but that's a whole nother video. Okay. But she would take him and love and care for him. And then when I was working at the nursing home on the night shift, I'd come over there and get him at night because I knew I had to drop him off the very next afternoon and head on back to work. And she'll tell me, no, leave him here. He could sleep here. Don't wake him up to take him home, Nana Boo Boo. Don't leave him. No, leave him. Don't take him. And I get there. I set my alarm and get there Early in the morning, 7, 8 a.m., I walk in smelling bacon and grits and biscuits and all of that stuff. Okay, that's every morning. She was making homemade biscuits from scratch. That's just how she rolled. She loved us with food, with her mouth, with her arms. She gave the best hugs. And she wouldn't even let me take my own child home. So let me tell you, I would get there in the morning and say, okay, all right, Granny, seriously now, I got to be at work at 3. So let me take him home now to give you a break or whatever. Oh, my grandbaby said he wanted biscuits. I made him biscuits. I'd be, Grandma, he ain't told you he want no biscuits. Come on. And I wind up on the couch trying to get some sleep before, because I was in work and school. So 3 days a week I was in class. I was in EMT school back then. And she loved him to the core. And she loved us all like that. So what I say is love your granny, your mom, and your nana as much as you can. And if today is Mother's Day and you don't have them anymore, I'm sorry. And I'll pray that you can get through this day. Because I might have shed 2 or 3 tears as I was telling this story, okay? But those are happy memories. Those are memories that all my kids know. I've told those stories to my kids all of their life. Only one of my children met my granny. Only one, and that was Elijah. The other 2 just wasn't here yet. And on my mother, she met my son Elijah, but she never met my other 2. So you never know when they're going to go. But they know so many stories about them that you'll think they met them. So have a good day. Don't be sad on Mother's Day. Be happy and tell somebody a story about your mother. Tell a story about your granny or your nana. And if you had a rough relationship and it was a lot of down and not a lot of up, stop and think about one of those good times that brought you joy. And tell your kids that story today, okay? So happy Mother's Day to all of you. The ones that have children of their own, and even the ones who have nieces and nephews who they wish was theirs. They love you and they feel your love, okay? So happy mothers to all of you. God bless you all. Okay, so at this point in the video, we like to breathe in and breathe out. Come on, mothers. Breathe in, breathe out. Oh, we thank you, Father. We are so grateful. We are so grateful for this day, Father God. And we thank you for all these wonderful mothers that are out there. So, wherever you headed today, to church, to school, to work, or maybe you're just going to go out and eat today for Mother's Day, have a good day. Be happy. Be joyful. And if you do shed a tear too, let them be happy tears today, okay? And treat everybody you meet today with respect, okay? So have a good day. Have a blessed day. And remember, God loves you, and so do I. Goodbye, everybody. Happy Mother's Day. Thank you guys for watching today. Hope you enjoyed today's video. Take a minute to leave a comment. I look forward to talking to you soon. Bye.